I'm going to talk very briefly today about the reversal waves of the event, or the shift, or ascension, or 5D Earth, or fourth density, or heaven on earth. I'm sure there's other names for it, but you know what I'm talking about. And the reversal waves of energy are already present here in individuals. Now, this is going to trigger a lot of people, and that's okay, because whenever you feel triggered by something and you emotionally respond to it, that's a sign to really give it a listen and ask yourself, why does it trigger you? What is it in the communication that makes me feel scared or anxious or upset or angry or disappointed or resentful? And I'm not triggering anybody on purpose, but it is a very practical, related spiritual philosophy that is getting lost in the communication. The message is getting lost in the communication. And what I'm going to talk about right now is purely the message. And I hope you'll listen to the end and then make a judgment. And if you don't like it, say, I completely disagree, and that's fine. That doesn't bother me. That's not why I'm putting this information out there. It's not to make a bunch of people agree with me or upset a bunch of people who don't agree with me. It's simply putting the information out for those who want to hear it and for those who might need to hear it. So the reversal energy of the event or the shift or 5D Earth or fourth density or heaven on earth is the individuals on earth right now living in 3D bodies who are highly, highly spiritually evolved. It might be you. That might be why you're listening to this. It might be a friend of yours. It might be a relative. We all know those people that when we're around them, we just sense that they're very, very, very old souls, which would mean to us that they had a lot of life earth times to figure this out, or perhaps that they come from somewhere else in the universe or the multiverse, and they've come here to do a job. But they're not quite operating with the same set of information or rules. And the event wave or shift reversal that they are performing is they are here to do a job, and you might be here to do a job. You might have volunteered to come here to experience this period of life on Earth in the 21st century in 3D matter for a reason. And that reason that I'm talking about is reversing the energy of running away to a place, 5D Earth, fourth density, where you feel your spirit could live more freely and express itself more truly. We'll break that down a little bit. That means that you don't have to work in a 9-to-5 job that you don't enjoy just to put food on the table and a roof over your family's head. You would get to work in an area of your choosing, something that inspires you and makes you feel good while you're working and being compensated for whatever needs you may have in that lifetime. And when you're finished with that work and you've gotten enough out of it, you can have the freedom to move into another area of work and try that out. You might not necessarily have to work 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, just to survive. Perhaps you would choose to work 4 hours a day, 3 or 4 days a week, and then to volunteer your time in other areas of life. Further your education, or explore, travel the world and learn more about life. Am I talking about a fantasy? Yes, I am, because at the moment, that's not available to us. It's not a reality that we can immediately experience. So it's an idea in my mind, which some might call, well, that's obviously a fantasy. Is it possible to bring this into reality, into our ways of living here? Of course it is. Then it would no longer be a fantasy. It would actually exist. This is how all changes occur. First, they occur within the minds or the hearts of men and women. And when they grow strong enough, people begin to act upon them. And when enough people act upon them, they actually change the physical structures of the matter around you, hence the Mandela effect. But in this instance, we're actually talking about changing societal structures, which are invisible, but are extremely powerful. They dictate before you were born what you do with your time and how you live your life, depending on where you're born on this planet, depending on which family, which economic stratus you're born into, which depends on which racial family you're born into. So, I mean, obviously, we're all on the same page here, or you wouldn't actually be here listening to my voice right now. We all desire freedom. It's the number one driving force of a human being, is to be free in their thoughts, free in their actions, free in their activities. Unfortunately, we have a controlling mechanism of other humans, not archons, not Anunnaki, not Satan, not demons, not aliens. We have a level, a societal structure of other human beings who are determining societal rules, where you go to school, how you're educated, how many hours a day you attend school, and how much school you have to attend before you're free to work and contribute to the greater community. And then these same people at the same level, the very, very, very top echelon of the ruling elite, determine where you're going to work based on your education, whether you went to university or not, what you studied, and how much you will be paid within those areas of work, how many hours a day you will contribute, how much time off you'll get, if any. So here we are, these incredibly creative and expressive and spiritual human beings, spirit in the human form, and you want to break free. You might feel frustrated working in a non-creative environment, but you know you have to do it to pay the bills to survive. Well, that reversal of the energy wave for the event or the shift for 5D Earth or fourth density or heaven on earth is within the people here right now who are craving and desiring that freedom to act and live in a creative capacity and survive and have a roof over their heads and food for their families to eat. That is the reversal wave I am talking about. It is the people here on this planet now who are drawing that in to the planet. They are desiring it and they are starting to act upon it. And the more that they act upon it in a peaceful and loving way, the sooner it will come. And they will actually be responsible for bringing 5D Earth here. All those concepts we have of what it means to live in 5D Earth. Peace and harmony amongst all races and amongst all nations. Cooperation amongst human beings and the human family and the animal family and the mineral family and the vegetation family. And creative expression. Being allowed to be who you are. And if you've had enough of that, being allowed to change that, to express your life in a different way. That's what we imagine 5D Earth to be like. And no starvation, no wars, disagreements that are handled in a civil and compassionate way. So the reversal of that event wave is actually bringing 5D Earth, fourth density, heaven on earth to us, not running to somewhere, to something, but actually doing the work here to transform the human societal structures, which are created and managed by other humans, into a more peaceful, loving, and cooperative structure for all people. If you think about it, that's probably why you came here. You probably didn't come here to say, Beam me up, Scotty. Get me out of here. I can't take it anymore. You probably volunteered to come here now to help bring those energies here into the now. And you can do it through your civic work. You can do it through how you communicate and interact with your family. You can do it with how you interact with your neighbors and your community. You can do it by simply being here with these higher ideals in your mind and in your heart. That affects everybody that you come in contact with on a daily basis. And if you're feeling desperate to get off this planet because it's too hard, the work is too mundane, it's not fulfilling in any way, and you have to work too hard just to cover the basics, try to bring your concepts of how you would be living in a 5D Earth into your daily activities here. When you go to work, how can you do that work more creatively? How can you do that work more compassionately? Is there anybody in your work environment who really kind of needs your guidance or your help or just a hello and a smile occasionally? What can you do here in 3D that you would be doing if the event had already occurred and you were living in 5D? Many of us here know this, and we know that we have a job to do and that it is a process. It can be a fast process. It can be a slow process. And probably the more that we understand that we're here to do a job and we're willing now to do it, we're here, we know we have to do these physical jobs just to keep our physical bodies alive. But now we understand we have a spiritual job to do while we're here and we're willing to do it. How much quicker will that bring about the shift or the event into 5D Earth, fourth density living, right here, right now? If you look back at human history, the bits that we're allowed to know, that we're actually taught, whether they're true or not, some of it is verifiable, the human societal structures are evolving in the right direction. They're evolving into more freedom for more people. If you just look at the American slavery, if you look at African slavery, if you look at serfdom in Europe, look at Egyptian slavery, look at Greek slavery and Roman slavery. It's a slow process. I'm only talking about 2,000 years of history. But it's a process that is going in the right direction, which is more freedom for more people. And it's because the people who need that freedom are always pushing the envelope. They're always testing the boundaries. They're always pushing things a little bit further so they have a little more freedom. And if we actually achieve spiritual and physical freedom for all of humanity on Earth to operate within an equal and sustainable and cooperative system, would anybody really be wishing and praying for a major cataclysmic event to occur so that their spirit could escape their physical bodies here and they could live somewhere a little freer? Probably not. If you like, hold on to your desires for a major event to occur so that you are instantly freed. But in the meantime, make the most of your days and your working environment and your family environment to give as much as possible, bring as much spirit into those activities as possible, bring as much creativity into those environments and activities as possible, and see what happens. See if that doesn't bring the event about here, now, in a gentle way, perhaps in a way that we didn't even notice. One day we were anxious to leave, and the next day we were like, hey, it's not so bad here after all. Those waves are here now, and they are increasing, and the Earth is being bombarded with more solar energy, stronger magnetism from the sun, and galactic waves as well are coming through based on our position in the galaxy. And the Schumann resonance is up and down, spiking, The magnetic North Pole is somewhere over Siberia, on its way to the South Pole, or some say to the Pacific Ocean. To the middle of the Pacific Ocean is where it will finally settle. So the changes are here, the changes are now, the opportunities are now for us to absorb those waves and transmute them and send them out of our heart chakras onto the planet in a way that they can be used for all of humanity, that they can help the entire Earth organism ascend. So enjoy this time and enjoy your purpose and just enjoy the changes. It's a really exciting time. Much love, everybody. Bye.